Hi, today we're going to learn a simple idea, put that idea into phrases, and you'll be able to practice that on your guitar, on a saxophone, on a piano, right? So it's applicable to any instrument, and we are going to apply those phrases to a standard called Autumn Leaves, and then see how we can practice these phrases in all 12 keys to make sure that we feel free every time we hear this idea, we can implement it, right, on any standard. So first, let's take a look at the chart for Autumn Leaves, and this is for B-flat instruments. But feel free to change the key on your backing track and do the same exercise in any key you want. So for B-flat instruments, the first chord is G minor. And the idea today, the idea that we're going to learn today is 1, 2, 3, just playing 1, 2, 3 and variations of 1, 2, 3 on chords. So for G minor, it's going to be 1, 2, flat 3. For C7, it's going to be 1, 2, regular 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 F. 1, 2, 3, 4 B flat. And for half diminished, for now, let's play 1, flat 2, flat 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 A7. 1, flat, 1, 2, flat 3 for D minor. Okay, so let's first just practice that and play through a few of the chords using the just ascending 1, 2, 3. Mistake there, but it's all good. So we can see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 sounds melodic, a little bit too repetitive, right? But you got the idea. So now let's add a little bit of rhythm to this, right? So we can play instead of 1, 2, 3, we can play 1, 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3, 3 rhythmically, or right, or we can even repeat the whole phrase. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try that for now, and let's see how that sounds. All right, so there's a little bit more variation, a little bit more freedom there. So why don't we now try to play the descending 3, 2, 1, right? And we can also add 3, 1, 2, 3. So 3, 2, 1 will sound like this. And 3, 1, 2, 3 will sound like this. Okay, nice. So let's add that and maybe play, just put this part of the chart on repeat and just play through a few times and try to come up with your own, rhythmic variations. Right. Sky's the limit, just with those 3 notes. The last thing we can add is that, so we have rhythmic variation, we have ascending, descending. Let's just, sometimes we can just skip. Like we don't have to play anything on a chord, for that matter, but we can just skip, instead of 1, 2, 3, we can just play the 3, or 2, 3, or 1, 3, right? So let's add that and play through these chords one more time. All right. So now we got the idea, we got a few phrases. Hopefully you were able to implement them in either this key or any other key, on Autumn Leaves or any other tune. But how do we really get this, feeling of freedom? Like I can play this idea anywhere I want, on any chord I want. So for that, we need to practice this in all 12 keys. And this might seem very daunting in the beginning, or it's pretty much daunting every time you get a new phrase, right? But the idea is just to play through all the keys so that whenever you hear the phrase, you can play it. And we could practice it chromatically. For example, it's just if you look at the top row, just C, D flat, D, right? If we just go chromatically, for example, for 1, 2, flat 3. Right? It's good, but you start like kind of figuring out the pattern and like, oh, I just like half a step higher, I can play this here, this there. So you don't really think in the chord, and you just get used to like playing it kind of mechanically. And people play it chromatically, then play it in whole tones and then in thirds. But what I found is really cool to do, is kind of like a little game, is to randomize the notes. And I wrote this little chord generator, which I will share with you later. But you randomize the notes, you can write them on a piece of paper and just play on the chord you see and try to go through all 12 keys first without the metronome, and then of course you can add the metronome as well. So it's going to sound like this. Etc., etc., right? You can do the same with major. And half diminished, and all the variations that we just talked about, right? Just take one variation, just play through all 12 keys until you're comfortable at the tempo that you want to play it. And then you can go back and try to play in a different key. Maybe you have a singer who sings this song in a different key, for example. In a different key, for example, I sing it in C minor, so that's why I mostly play it in C minor. But you can change the key. Maybe that day I want to play it lower, right? Or sing it lower. So you just change the key. Etc., etc. So that's it for today, and join me on the next idea, the next phrase, and let's practice together. Guess happy practicing. See you next time.